my name is Rachel and I'm here today to do my part 3 for my May wrap-up, which is just the graphic novels that I read in the month of May, so I'm just going to get straight into it. The first two things I want to mention, I don't really know how available they are to get, but I got them on Free Comic Book Day, and it was Bob's Burgers and a collection of like excerpts, like the first 10 pages of a few different graphic novels, and that was in a little collection called Comic Friends Forever. And yeah, both of these were great. I really enjoyed them. The Comic Friends Forever definitely got like at least 2 or 3 graphic novels in there that I really want to check out, so that was awesome. So then going in order of my ratings, this is the only book I didn't rate, and it is The Secret Loves of Geek Girls, edited by Hope Nicholson. This is an anthology. This isn't always graphic novel. You have some bits like this, like text conversations, you have some that are like written, then you have some that are complete comic book style, so it's kind of a mix. This is really good, but I didn't rate it because there's some things that I would give 5 in here and some that I would give like 3, so I didn't feel like I could give a rating to the thing as a whole. But I really enjoyed this. Had a lot of LGBT representation in here and just some cool artists that I would like to check out in the future, like this one. So yeah, that was fun. Next was a picture book called This Is a Taco. This was by Andrew Kangalos and Josh Shipley. Sorry, I'm not very good at names. Yeah, this was a picture book about squirrels. It was like in between educational and humour. It's intended for children, and I don't know how enjoyable it'd be for a child. I give it 2 stars. It wasn't great. It was a fast read, but it wasn't amazing. So this was published on the 1st of May, but I got it off NetGalley. The next book I also got off NetGalley, and that was Sour Apple. This is by Jerzy Szlak, and it was and the art was done by Joanna Kapowicz. I really should have looked up some names for this. This was published on the 18th of April, and this I gave 3 stars. Shit ton of trigger warnings for this graphic novel. Sexual abuse, rape, graphic violence and suicide are all prevalent themes in this graphic novel. So we follow a woman who is in an abusive relationship. It's a very hard-hitting story. It's unapologetic in its detail, and I enjoyed that, but it was very like shocking to like look at it visually as well in the medium that it was drawn in. I would highly recommend this if you enjoyed Take It As a Compliment, which was like a collection of 15 stories where people had faced like sexual abuse and things like that. I found it a little bit similar to that. So yeah, I gave that one 3 stars. Then again off NetGalley, I got A Quick and Easy Guide to They Them Pronouns by Archie Bongiovanni and Tristan Jimison. And this is published on June 12th, and I gave this 4 stars. This is basically about people who are trans or just like non-binary, don't want to identify with gender, and the personal pronouns that you prescribe when you discuss them, and using things like they and them instead of she or he, because those words are actually quite damaging and can make people uncomfortable if they don't identify as that certain gendered pronoun. And yeah, this was really great. I enjoyed it. It was a quick read, it was educational, and would recommend. Then another NetGalley. I got all these things off NetGalley because I read a load of graphic novels when I went home, and then I wanted to read them when I came back to Switzerland, but obviously I don't have any graphic novels in Switzerland except from this one and then the last graphic novel that I read this month, which I'll show you later. So I just went to NetGalley and got a lot of proofs for graphic novels so that I could read some, because I was just in the mood for it. So yeah, the next one was The Big Empty Life of Alphonse Tabouret. This was by Sibylline Desmarizes, Capuche and Jerome Devau. I might add the names of all these authors down below so that I can get away with it being so bad. I gave it 4 stars, and it was published on 29th of May, and I really enjoyed this. This is very cute. The artwork is very simple but very cute and effective. We follow a boy called Alphonse as he kind of searches a forest for friends and adventures, and it's very, very sweet. The ending is very sweet as well. The story was very strange, but like in a good way, and I'm unsure. At times it seemed to be for children, and then at times it seemed to be for an adult audience. So I'm unsure who this is actually targeted. So I'm unsure who this is actually targeted at, but I really, really enjoyed it. So would recommend that one too. Then the next 4 graphic novels I read during the Let's Get Graphic readathon, so I will link my wrap up where I talked about them in the cards. But I read volume 1 of Saga, which was a reread. I gave that 4 stars. Then I read volume 2 and gave it 4 stars. I read volume 3 and gave it 4.5 stars. Loved that one, that was my favourite. And then I read volume 4 and gave that 3.5 stars. That was my least favourite. Kind of lost a bit of momentum for volume 4. So yeah, I read all of those. This by Brian K. Vaughan and I want to say Fiona Staples, but I don't know if it is. But yes, they were great. Then I read a very, very adorable graphic novel of NetGalley called The Lost Path, and this is by Amelie Fletcher. I gave this 4.5 stars, and this was published on the 10th of April. This follows 3 children who find themselves in a forest off the beaten track. They're kind of with the school, but they've got lost. And I found it very reminiscent of the Amulet series by Kazu Kabushi, I think it is. And I really, really enjoyed this. I find it quite whimsical and fairy tale-esque, especially the first 10 pages. If the artist did a whole graphic novel that was in the style of the first 10 pages of this, it would be like my favourite thing ever. It really had an Isabel Greenberg vibe, but just to the first 10 pages. And yeah, it's really, really good. It was really beautiful and a fast read, but an enjoyable one. I really, really enjoyed the story. Next was a reread that I also read for the graphic readathon, and it was Isabel Greenberg's The Encyclopedia of Early Earth. This is one of my favourite graphic novels of all time. Well, Isabel Greenberg made my favourite graphic novel of all time, but yeah, the Early Earth ones are my favourites. I absolutely adore them. I think they are beautifully drawn. They just, yeah, they are so beautiful, they are so whimsical, you have strong female characters, you have these sort of Bible / old religion, old literature, myth, legend. Isabel Greenberg has took inspiration from all of these things and just made this beautiful story. Yeah, strong women, LGBT themes, and I love it. I'm so gutted that I didn't have time to reread the 100 Nights of Hero while I was home, because that is my favourite. But I am hoping to reread that soon, and that is probably going to be the book that I reread the most in my life, to be honest. And then the last graphic novel that I read this month, I gave 5 stars, and it is Persepolis by Madin Satrapi. So I read the first half of this before I came to Switzerland, and I wanted to read the rest of it. But as you can imagine, when you move to a foreign country and you are going to leave all your books, you try and read everything on your shelf before you go. And I was trying to read so many books before I left that I only managed to get the first half of this one read. So I think I was reading it for that graphic readathon as well when I was at home, and I didn't get to finish it before I went on the plane, and I was like, do you know what, I'm not stopping reading this book again, I'm just going to take it with me. So yeah, I brought this back to Switzerland with me and finished it. I think I finished it on the plane, and I have such feelings towards this book. I love this book. So this is a graphic memoir, and we follow Marjane through an Islamic revolution, I think it is termed, in Iran, and she basically grows up with this. She has very liberal parents, and when she reaches a certain age, they move her out of the country because they don't want her to be under this strict reign. So she moves to a few different places, and one of them is Switzerland, where I am, so that was cool. And there's a lot of German in here as well, and I was really impressed because I could read it and understand what the German was, so I was like, go me. I really liked part 2 better than part 1. I loved Marjane anyway. I love how fiery she is. I thought it was really cool. I loved her family. I love how they treat her getting married, how they treat like the things that follow on from that. I don't really want to say too much and give spoilers because I really think that this is a book that everyone should read, even if you don't like graphic novels. This is like Mouse by Art Spiegelman, where even if you don't read graphic novels, you should read that because it's just this really awesome way of people getting their story out there. And I loved this. This was 5 stars. This was absolutely fantastic. One of my favourite reads of May. So they are all the graphic novels that I read in the month of May, and that ends my May wrap up. I've never done 3 parts to a wrap up before, which seems kind of extreme. But yeah, I wanted to talk about all the books without just saying the name and moving on. So yeah, that's everything I read. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!